Planning to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Karaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980 8483 340 9400 or 635-9906.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Brusubi opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited, or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051, or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
Agada
mbijan aganyadi
albaka
mbaka important
yo nga transfer la sto
ya transfer la
ha code nyinji
okay person nsila id soto
sa so sorry agada
mbijan bro
albaka
mbaka
bara alla service o tariaka
mbare
ki janna nun kunu bara tariaka
jannom yona forest de bureau Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere birim koyna fo kato
bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong blabe
56 branches mola sota Gambia jang
ha
Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol nko kono kiya bele kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nim kodi maraw jannam number 1 di nyonta andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi mani domorol dir fana beteat Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je
wo moyo diat
apelenta
baraka ni lafta nyelen kendol e binaji
yalo bu kanila ko la baraka
yalo ndel ciosano lo
baraka.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yonna Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yonna Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yonna Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yonna Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yonna Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yonna head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yonna branch located countrywide near you.
Hello and welcome to the Brunch on Kerfatu Live. I am Lamin Cham. This is our weekly look at current affairs in which we look at events that dominate news in the past 7 days. Now, in the past 7 days, of course, and a little before that, the country has been dominated by news from the political scenes, exchanges between the key players, as well as, of course, a bit of a power struggle, so to speak, in one of the rival Islamic organizations called Rawdatul Majalis. Majalis, well, Rawdatul Majalis. We will discuss this topic as well as other topics leading to the role of religious leaders in the society, especially on social and political matters, and of course, human rights issues, because the composition of the panel here today comprised of two gentlemen who are very strong and amiable standing in the society in terms of religious propagation in the country. And they are Modou Lamin Yaffa, is an executive member of Rawdatul Majalis. Imam Babali is Imam of Kanifing East Mosque, as well as a commissioner of the National Human Rights Commission, a long-standing human rights advocate. Gentlemen, well, I think I should say Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala.
Good. We will discuss these topics in the next hour or so. But first, of course, we start with a major issue, since we have the privilege of having one of the key players in the Rawdatul Majalis in Mr. Yaffa. Over the last few days, a group has emerged from that group claiming legitimacy to be new leaders of the organization. They said they had the backing of the constitution of the association, which states that where there has been a dispute, the co-founders of the association, 33 of them altogether, are allowed by law of the association to choose a new leadership. At a press conference in Brikama a few days ago, the rival faction claimed that they have invoked such an article in the constitution, and a majority of them, 19 altogether, voted for the Venerable Imam Bamin Jaite to be the leader of the Rawdatul Majalis. However, the current executive, of which Mr. Yaffa is a member, said that move is unconstitutional, and that it is only at an AGM that a bona fide and legal executive can be elected. So these are the two arguments. Mr. Yaffa, let me begin by asking you, before we got to this, can you tell us the genesis of this problem? Because obviously we cannot discount the fact that you have two rivals, that you have two rival camps now in Rawdatul Majalis. Where did it all start?
Thank you for using that word genesis. And instead of starting with the genesis of the dispute, I would like to talk about the genesis of Rawda itself.
Okay.
Which will be very short.
Very good.
Overview.
Very good.
Rawdatul Majalis was established basically for only one purpose. it is to safeguard the mainstream Islam, call it also even traditional Islam, that we inherited from our forefathers and those before them, up to the days of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That Islam has remained untainted over the centuries to this day. It is only roughly about 40 to 50 years ago when Wahhabism took grip of, I won't call the reins of power, but became the religious arm of the government of Saudi Arabia, mainly in 1980-81, when terrorists occupied the Kaaba and killed many people there. That
was King Abdullah or King Fahd?
No. That was during King Khalid's days, before King Fahd.
Okay.
After the death of King Faisal, after, let's say, by about six years.
So this Wahhabi is a new sect of Islam that took over.
Yeah, it's a new alien, definitely concepts that are alien to the main body of Islamic knowledge sanctioned by all Muslim scholars all over the world. You know, briefly.
So when they took over, then
they took over, it was not basically a takeover. What happened was that event so shocked the king of the government of Saudi Arabia, the Minister of Interior at the time, I think Prince Naif, and the entire government of Saudi Arabia was so shaken by the event that they just decided to give free rein to the religious establishment in Saudi Arabia then, which was headed by their main religious scholar at the time, Ibn Baz. But before that, this 1980, you go to Jeddah or anywhere in Saudi Arabia, especially in their main cities like Jeddah, there was no difference as far as the societal setup was concerned with any other Muslim country. There were cinemas in Jeddah. There was co-education in Jeddah. Some would not understand the expression co-education.
Okay.
That's where you have boys and girls in the same classroom.
Oh, okay.
It was after that event that the government said, hey, look, because Ibn Baz and his people, we are preaching, against what the government was doing. For them, Islam should be, the government in general should be characterized in all its dealing, by Islamic precepts and here and there. So they said, well, now, to avoid such an incident, let us give them free rein. That's when Wahhabism had a grip on the country and everything. So they prevented women from working, unless in female, like female schools are like driving and everything. So the strict, but that is all not. That is not basically what Wahhabism is about. Wahhabism is based on main two concepts. For them, anything that the Prophet ﷺ, according to their view, never did, should never be done by any Muslim. If you do it, they will say the Prophet did not do this. So what you are doing is bid'ah.
So the second one?
The scholars don't agree with them on that.
Okay.
Number two is also what they call shirk in Islam.
Yeah.
It is polytheism, associationism, if you like, fulanka with God. Where they see shirk, mainstream scholars in all parts of the Muslim world do not see shirk there.
So the definition is different.
Yes. So consequently, what happens is,
for example, the wearing of jujus and the consultation and all the nationals are seen by these
in Islam, there is nothing like juju.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if there are amulets. You see Muslim carry, they carry the name of God.
Yeah, but the Wahhabis see this.
Well, for them, all that is shirk.
Right.
You know. So now, so to cut a long story short, Rawdatul Majalis. Yeah. Because you see, over the past 20 to 30 years, they have been very vocal here, and they went up to the point of dominating, and that's our main concern.
You mean the Wahhab?
The Wahhabis, they are students who came back from Saudi Arabia, which is very recent.
They were dominating.
The first 2-3 generations of Gambian people who went to, Gambian students who went to the Arab world to study, did not go to Saudi Arabia. They studied in Egypt, Morocco, Libya, and others. Not Saudi. Okay. Saudi, it started in the mid-80s.
Okay.
It's recent. Okay. But they came back indoctrinated by these people, telling them that your people are involved in engrossed with, shirk and bid'ah. Go and preach against that.
Okay, all right.
So they created.
So then come the Rawdatul Majalis to preserve,
to counter
and preserve.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
You see,
all right.
But unfortunately, for me, so I came and found that this thing was already established.
So I take it that the main source of disputes between the Majalis and the Supreme Islamic Council is this other side composed of Wahhabis, these other parties are non-Wahhabis.
I will not say that the Supreme Islamic Council composed of, but frankly, dominated, yes.
Controlled by the Wahhabis.
Totally.
So this form the basis of the difference between
the two.
I see.
Thank you.
But now that you have, fast forward, now that you have internal problems now.
Yes.
What led to this problem? What are the basis?
Thank you. I joined the group, and basically the year it was established.
Yes.
I can say. It was established in 2017.
Okay.
I came back from retirement from IDB in the same year. At the call it advice of a very close friend, and even call it a mentor of mine, Alaji Baba Darame, former ambassador.
I heard the name.
He's also an Arabic Islamic scholar. Studied in Egypt.
Yes.
He's a cousin of Alaji Bandin Darame.
Yeah. They quoted the other side. The rival option quoted him.
Yeah,
one of the founders.
Even first cousins. And they even studied together there.
All right.
Was the one who urged me and the late Sambu Gassama, MIS Gassama.
I remember him.
To come and join. Because then he was the president of this Rawdatul Majalis. But having realized that the organization lacked people of good educational standing.
Okay.
So he felt that our presence, the two of us, with him in the organization,
with enhanced quality.
Thank you. And it's a fact, to be frank.
I see. So your involvement really helped raise the profile.
Well, no, I will not praise myself.
No, I'm saying your caliber.
Yeah, but and the problem is, in fact, that's the main problem there. You know, it's unfortunate that I can say 99% of the members that established that came up with the idea and established the organization, unfortunately, are unlettered.
I see. So
and not only, if I say unlettered, both ways.
Not
English and Arabic, unfortunately.
Okay.
So you come and join such an organization, and you notice that, frankly speaking, when it comes to reasoning, insight to things, your outlook to things are totally different.
I see. So
totally different. So in the long run, in fact, that's what has now happened.
So you take it that because of the lack of enlightenment, among the membership there, you expected that this kind of problems will occur. But let's take what actually happened, because I understand there was supposed to be an AGM, which could not take place, and then this incident happened. What happened to the AGM?
Yes, in fact, you see, according to the constitution, a constitution, in fact, that is so poorly drafted that sometimes you find it difficult to understand.
But it has provisions for AGM anyway. How members can it has that.
An AGM.
So when was it due? When was an AGM due?
Well, the date was set for on the 18th of April.
Last April?
Yes.
4 months ago?
Yes.
It did not happen?
Yeah, it did not happen.
What happened?
Because of disagreement.
Oh, there was disagreement as to the modalities?
Yes,
or?
yes. That's the right
Isn't that not spelled out in the Constitution how you can elect?
No, there's no election in fact. It's a selection.
Oh, it's selection?
Yes, because they are guided by the general, I wouldn't say Islamic principle, like here in the Gambia generally.
But there must be a method to that selection.
Well, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Generally, a religious organization, our people, our elders, they do everything possible to avoid elections. They do things by consensus.
Okay.
Yes, they do it by consensus. Even at the OIC.
Yeah.
So
you couldn't come to a consensus, so that AGM could not take place?
There could be no consensus. And the problem was that what they claim now, what they call co-founders, and those are the people who came up with the idea.
That if there is a dispute.
And then, to establish Rawdatul. Some of them, not all of them, met to say, without even consulting with the president of the current president, the bureau, neither the president, nor the vice president, nor the secretary general, they did not consult them. They went and just decided to select somebody else.
But they said...
I'm coming. Yes, they did so. They did so. That's the first thing they did.
Was to go and select unilaterally.
Just like that. And then started launching a campaign against the president. Is that respectful? Is that okay?
They claim that where there is the Constitution provided that where there is a dispute which cannot be resolved, the co-founders, 33 of them, are mandated to intervene and select a leadership, and that's what they have done. 19 out of 33. They said some members of those co-founders are not either in the country.
I wish this Constitution was here.
They said 19 of them.
Yeah, I know. You have said it. Yeah, you have said it. No need to repeat it. I understand.
So,
but
I wish think they have some legitimacy.
No, wait. I wish this Constitution were here.
Are you disputing that?
Yes.
Okay. What did they say?
They're just talking about the dismissal of a member. That's what is in that place. That the co-founders
can dismiss.
Yes.
So is it that they have dismissed? In that case, they dismissed.
It's different. Well, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean,
so it was talking about a dismissal.
There is a fine distinction here.
Okay.
To dismiss a member and to get rid of the president or the bureau, these are two different things.
I see.
This is what they fail to understand. That is what is the Constitution, to dismiss a member that is found to be recalcitrant or to be a troublemaker or whatever, who works who does things contrary to the interests of the organization.
So according to you, the law they rely on is dealing with dismissal or removal of somebody who misbehaved.
But to select the president and the bureau, they have no powers to do that.
And how should that be done? By consensus.
Consensus, we agree. In fact,
but if you cannot agree even to meet, how do you expect you to agree to elect?
No, we have been doing it. It's just as I told you, when you have some ignoramuses among you who just cannot understand.
So what are you going to do now? Now that these people have claimed legitimacy and they have chosen Baming, Jaite,
well,
your people are supposed to...
There was a time when the matter even reached the police. Not that we reported it there. It's because when we were working on having the General Assembly, they unilaterally, unknowing to the President, the Vice President, the Secretary General, they went and submitted a request for a permit to stage a General Assembly. But it happened that we also sent a separate request.
And what did
so when the police saw it, they said, this is the same organization. And in fact, they used the letterhead, which is
so the police wanted to know which authority.
No, I'm coming. It is tantamount to forgery. It is the PRO, and he just signed it. Can you imagine? You took such a thing to the police? So the police said, well, this is serious. if the same organization with the same members come with different requests, it shows that it means that there is a problem.
And what did the police do?
So what he said now, so they said they couldn't agree at the time. So the police said to us, or to our people who were there, to go and continue their dialogue until such time that they agree. And then they will issue them AAK. Because under these circumstances, if they issue a permit, then there may be.
I see. That's how that AGM was postponed.
Yes.
I see.
Up to this day.
So,
and we have been trying through elders here and there, but until now, unfortunately, they are recalcitrants. So, in fact, they have now gone against the advice and orders of the police. And they went ahead now and declared themselves, I don't know, they appointed their own president and then set up
their own executive. What is going to happen now?
No, we have even notified the police to tell them we are maintaining the same spirit of dialogue. Yeah, we will continue that. We are here in the Gambia. We have elders. In fact, Rawdatul Majalis is an organization that represents all our Majalis, and our Majalis here are headed by our Muslim elders. So we will continue liaising with them, approaching them, so that there is an amicable outcome for this whole problem.
So which faction do we recognize henceforth as the
No.
Is the current leadership?
It is like the APRC imbroglio. So that's
like Fama Kertomo is still the APRC. You are still the.
So we are here. We'll see what will happen in the.
Okay, I will ask the opinion of, before we go into other. I know he is not. He's neither a member of Raat Majalis, or I don't even think he's a member of the Supreme Islamic Council either. What is your independent understanding of this Rawa, and what do you think is the solution to it?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I learned a lot by listening to Muhammad Lamin. And I know all these organizations because for Supreme Islamic Council, I'm one of the first founders of it. I was very young at that time. I heard somebody today talking about Supreme Islamic Council, how it came, but he don't have the clue.
I see.
If I called him, I couldn't get him.
We learned of one Basori,
it was from before Basori even.
Okay.
The initiative of this Supreme Islamic Council came from Sheikh Sabali. When Sir Dawda went to Mansa Konko and decided to retire.
That was in December 91.
That was the delegation that Sheikh Sabali from went round about Njai BP, Alaji Babukar Jeng, and other elders. They went and begged Sir Dawda. That was the day they thought of forming what they call Supreme Islamic Council. My cousin was there, who is Muhammad Lamin Drame, known as Du Drame, the father of Imam Bashiru Drame. So it's something that I know. I was within. I was very young though.
So that is how it was.
That was the idea, the breed of the idea that happened that day. But for the Rawdatul Majalis, I knew when they were about to form it. They came to my house. They sought my support. And their ideas were very legitimate. But among their ideas and their ambition was, what they told me there, and that was said all over, that is Supreme Islamic Council is claiming to represent all Muslims, which is not very well true. And at the same time, their term is over. They are not ready to go for AGM also to change their leadership. And some of them at that time had interest in the leadership of Supreme Council. So Supreme Council also insisted. So you will see this kind of continuity of positions is in the Gambian blood. Being political, being civil servant, be whatever. Whatever position we have.
We don't want to relinquish.
No, we don't want to relinquish. We think it's something inherited. We must die right with it. Exactly so. So really that day I was very much impressed because they have facts. And I gave them my support financially also, and I was with them. For Supreme Islamic Council, if you ask them, they'll say, Baba is a member. But for me, I'm not a member of any organization. Let me make it very clear. I'm somebody...
But you sympathize Rawdatul in the beginning.
Actually, because I have so many commonalities with them.
Yes.
I'm a son of Majlis.
Yes.
I'm a Majlisian. And I believe...
You are not a Wahhabist.
No, I'm not a Wahhabist. I will never be. And I have so many values that I respect and they respect it. Of course, I have differences with them because I'm also man of myself. There are certain issues I don't agree with them.
The Majalis.
The Majalis, of course.
I see.
And there are certain things I don't agree with Supreme Islamic Council.
Okay.
So, to be a person of that nature, I think what is best for me is to be independent. That's why I'm not a member of any organization or any party. But I do maslaha with everybody where we have commonalities. I respect it. I respect your opinion. And I expect you to respect my opinion also. Indeed. With most Supreme Islamic Council, those who dominate it. Because we know Supreme Islamic Council. There are genuine people. There are very disciplined people. There are knowledgeable people. But there are arrogant people. And these arrogant people are able to manipulate and dominate the Supreme Islamic Council.
Thank you.
And those arrogant people are the people that throw stones to everybody in this country. Claim they know everything when they know nothing.
Okay.
So really...
But the issue is, why don't you think, now that we have seen factions coming from even a faction,
I'm sorry.
we have seen different factions. Don't you think, in your opinion, isn't it time now for all of you to work towards bringing the Supreme Islamic Council and the whatever factions in the Rawdatul to come together and form one Islamic organization?
Actually, I'm not a person who believes in this kind of organizations. That's not me. You know, I'm raised by my father. My father had never been a member of Daira or a member of any organization, but he dealt with everybody. He used to tell me, an Imam is an Imam of everybody. When you say Allah Akbar, UDP is behind you, NPP is behind you, APRT is behind you, the Tijan is behind you, the Qadir is behind you, the Supreme Islamic is behind you, the, how to call it, Majalis, Raat Majalis is behind you. So you have to be very careful, but to be very independent. So that's the philosophy I believe. And that's what I'm. And my name, Baba Leigh himself, I'm not boasting. But my name alone is an organization. So why should I worry for to be all these members of many organizations here? They only travel because of their organization. Me, I'm invited in the name of Baba Leigh, and I go in the name of Baba Leigh, and I participate in the name of Baba Leigh without even having. I know there are certain things.
But you must have concern when Islam or Imams are at each other's throat as an Islamic leader.
I have the concern, and I'm working in it. But you know, I think we don't wash your dirty clothes in public. But I'm telling you, Supreme Islam themselves, they are doing something. Most of them are not Tijanis. They don't believe in Tariqa. But every year, the king of Morocco invite the Tijanis, but they go and represent. You know, it is dishonesty. The kind of dishonesty that I know in this organization make me not to associate myself. You know, they always...
Well, they are not here to defend themselves, but my objective is, how can all of you come together? Because in that case, the people who are entering the faith just now, whether they are at the Majalis or they are at the Arabic schools that's established by people you call Wahhabis, the interest must be there's a common ground. Like the Christian Council, there are other denominations like Methodists, there is Catholic, there is Anglican, but when they said Christian Council,
Mr. Cham is an unachievable dream that all human being dreams. But the kind of unity you are talking about is unachievable. That's why even in Islam you have Malikiya, you have Shafi'iyya, you have. And in Christianity, we Muslims, whenever we talk, we take an example as Christian Council, because you don't know deep.
Wait
a minute. There are certain churches, they don't answer, they don't represent, they are not part of the Christian Council, which I know. I work with the Christian Council too.
Oh, really?
Yes. There are certain Christians in the like 7 Days Adventists.
Yes, 7 Days.
And many of them, Oh. There are certain churches.
They are not affiliated with
No. It's because you are a Muslim, you cannot know the bedboards of somebody else. You know your bedboard. You understand what I mean? And we Muslims, because you know the problem of Muslims, you say, oh, Muslims, they are not like Christians. We cannot be like Christians.
We used to find much orderliness in the Christian community than in the Muslim community.
That's true, because they are the minority. Wherever you go to Uganda, you find the Muslims. I'm a member of the Majlisul Ulama of Uganda. You go to Uganda, you see they are Muslim, how orderly they are, how organized they are, yes, because they are minority. You know, minorities.
The bigger the group, the bigger the problem.
Exactly. The minorities are always very vigilant, and they have seen a threat. That threat will unite them whether they like it or not, and will make them to be orderly whether they like it or not. But not necessarily they are the way we think they are. It's different. Yes.
Okay. May I just add something to what he has said? You see, the Supreme Islamic Council.
Look, they are not here to defend themselves.
No, I'm not blaming them.
Go on attacking them.
As a concept, I'm not attacking. As a concept, it's a noble idea. It's welcome. I support it, and he himself, I'm quite sure.
He said he agreed with some of them.
Not only even some. Had he not noticed dishonesty in some of the members, you see, the idea itself, he welcomes it.
Very well.
But the problem is the current composition. It's Wahhabi dominated. You see, wallahi, listen, I'm coming.
Now listen, he said, I'm coming. He said at the beginning that part of the reasons he sympathized Rawdatul Majalis at the time is that because the leadership of the Supreme Islamic Council, or whatever body was existing, refused to formulate ways where leadership can change.
No. For me, that's not issue. Rawda wouldn't have been established had the Supreme Council not been dominated by Wahhabis. Simple as that. There would be no justification for the establishment.
So this thing is ideological difference.
Let the authorities help us. Sit down with these people. We have always been trying. Let us sit down.
That's why
we discuss. And then agree. Hey, Muslims, all Muslims over the world, without Wahhabism, you never hear disputes among them. This is very simple.
That's why I'm trying to find a way.
But when you have a radio station,
because if I was a minister
on their premises that attacks Gambian Muslims because of Gamu and whatever.
Now, is it?
I don't know.
I had something like
that. They call it Falah.
Yeah, it's been
I hope so.
By the minister.
I hope so.
No, I didn't like it. I didn't like
it. Was not.
I don't like any radio. I don't like any radio to be shut down.
No, but it was not because of their philosophy.
No. It was a license.
Exactly.
Licensed. I know that.
It was.
It was an expired license and they didn't make any move to renew it. There were a lot of orders, but they made representation.
We have no problem with that. I mean, according to him, in fact, there are many members there.
So you are saying that they broadcast materials that are harmful to the...
That is the radio. But the attitude also.
No, but...
see why I'm trying to ask from you venerable people.
Mr. Cham,
yes,
we all know how arrogant some of them are.
You see,
let me tell you. You cannot call us here and thinking that we are barbaric. We are attacking them.
I don't want.
We are telling them the truth that one day we will tell them.
Okay, now
we are not to backside anybody or to be afraid of anybody. To say we call it as it is. They attack us on our name, say Babali is a kafir.
Okay.
Why can't you tell them to not do that?
Okay.
I am saying that some of them are arrogant. But they don't. I'm not saying all of them.
Yeah. But they don't do that here.
Invite them. Let them come.
Okay. All right.
Some of them are arrogant and insulting people. Okay. And naming people kafirs, and they think they own the religion. Not all of them.
They don't do that.
Let me make it. If they come here, they'll do the same.
No,
and I listen. I have listened.
They will not do it. No,
Lucy,
that's why I say I want you to.
Next time, if you invite me, I may not come.
no.
Because you invite me to say my opinion.
Yeah, but no,
my opinion is not to be controlled by any journalist. I want it.
Yes.
Don't call me then.
No,
I'm not a material of journalist. No.
I call you.
I am telling you the difference between me and them and my commonality with them.
You can say that with.
No. That's what I'm saying. But you are not to determine whether I'm attacking them or not. You are not to determine that because they are not here. No, that's not right.
Okay, let's move on.
That's not right.
Let's move on.
No,
I know how you feel about them.
I'm not saying about them. Some of them.
But since
qualified, some of them.
Yeah. Since they are not here, we can move on. And
they are listening.
What we are trying.
They are listening. All of them are listening.
Now, what I'm trying to do now is, if I were a minister,
then don't mention them. You are not mention Supreme Council.
I wanted to.
If you don't mention them, you see journalists. Some of the journalists.
You cannot talk about Rawdatul without talking to Supreme.
We'll talk about them then. Then mention them.
But if
you don't mention anybody here, any group here, I will not mention.
Okay, now.
But when you mention, I will dwell.
If I were a minister of local government,
thank you.
I see Ahmad Bar's job is very difficult now. If I were a minister of local government or religious affairs, now I see that there is a problem within the Islamic organization, the Imams and stuff like that. And I want to find an approach how to bridge the gap, understand between them. There's a tendency that you'll start by talking to them and knowing the views and know the difference between each other in a manner that will be acceptable and civil in terms of how they see each other's point. That's what we are trying to achieve here. I said, since we have rival factions within a faction already, wouldn't it be time now for all of you to sit together and see whether you can come under one umbrella? And you spelled out the fundamental differences in terms of ideology, Wahab, and the attitude of some of the members of the Supreme Court is fine now. Now, let's go ahead now to move on to another topic now, which is, of course, we all know in the current affairs in this country today, we are faced with very volatile and, vitriolic exchanges between political players. Recently, we have President Barrow being criticized for saying something about Ousainou Darboe. Ousainou Darboe also saying something about this. At his level, at the human rights, they came out with a stand to say, well, these kind of topics, and they've written to both, the people who are concerned, expressing concern about how they would love this matter, not to repeat itself. You wouldn't say. You may say they stop short of condemning publicly because that's not their style, but behind the scene they actually raise the issues with those who matters. Okay, although some people said they should take a firmer stand and more clearer stand by publicly denouncing where the denunciation should go to. But as religious leaders, what do you think should be the role of the Imams in helping quenching tensions or bringing down tensions like that, political scene? Let me start with you because I've heard from Leigh and we'll come back.
That's a good question. But unfortunately, the Gambia, unlike Senegal, the religious, call it establishment, is dominated and under the strong control of the various heads of tariqas in Senegal. Tariqas, I mean here.
Yeah. The Murid, the Tijani.
Yes. Qadiri.
Yeah.
And even within Tijaniya, you have
other sects.
Yes, not sects. Just call it households or
schools. Schools, of course.
No, I wouldn't even call them schools. Yeah, just call it. That's why I use the word sort of household.
Yeah.
Because of lack of a better term.
Okay.
They are all Tijani. They have no differences among themselves.
Okay.
But you have the Tiwawon household, you have the Nyasin household, and you have also the Madina Gunas household, and even in the Umarin or Umar Tal,
Usral Umari.
Yes, Umar, the household. But they see eye to eye. That's not the problem. And all the Sufi tariqas in Senegal, they all see eye to eye. They don't criticize each other. And interestingly, the reason I'm comparing the two, that's the Gambia and Senegal, as far as religious cohesion is concerned, is that in Senegal, people listen to these religious heads. They have.
If they speak out, the politicians listen.
Strong spiritual authority over them.
I see.
Spiritual.
Okay.
Not temporal, as they would say.
Okay, spiritual.
No,
so if they talk to the president or the opposition,
anybody,
they will listen.
Anybody. They have high regard for them.
So here you don't have it.
We don't have it.
So you mean
you see?
That's part of the reason is because you are divided, like I said.
No, it's not a question of division. Unfortunately, we don't have it. You see, it has always been our tradition here in the Gambia. I don't know. Frankly, it needs some sociological research and whatever to come up with.
So you mean if imams come together and approach?
These are not imams. These are not.
They won't listen.
Imams don't have authority.
The imams don't.
No. In Senegal, even imams don't have authority. The authority lies with the sheikhs.
In Senegal.
Yes. So that type of setup is what is lacking in the Gambia.
I see.
We may have a strong religious leader in Sutukoba, Dijaite Kunda, but his authority ends where the Talibans of that stops. That's all.
I see.
He's the so frankly, if in fact this is why Rawdatul Majalis also is one of our our aims, because this Majalis is the way if we can bring them together, and then they form a sort of a nucleus that can play such a role, they would be very, very instrumental.
Imam, what should there be the role outside human rights? What should be the role of religious leaders to kind of prevail or influence the politicians to tone down their rhetorics so as to ensure that there's peaceful electoral or political process in the country at all times?
Well, Mr. Chairman, it's very interesting and at times shameful, because as a religious leader, if you want to bring politicians together, when you yourself, your room is not in order, it's a problem. And now those whom you name as religious leaders, they are the one in the battle. So it will be very much difficult. And
they don't have authority.
Other imams, they are using their pulpits, they are preaching. Some people are listening, some people are not. You understand? So really, Gambia is in a very, very, very sad situation. And you wouldn't say, because of the differences you have today within the Rawda and other organizations, is the reason why. No, because these differences have been there long before them. Rawda didn't have 10 years yet. And you could talk about the Supreme Islamic Council, you don't want to also mention, they don't have 30 or 40 years here. So really, this the fact remains, what Mr. Yaffa said, that kind of leadership and the chain of control you have in Senegal, you have it here. And the reason being, in Senegal you have big daras. You know, these marabouts are marabouts because they are grandfathers who are teachers teaching majlis, they have followers, they have lovers. So they follow them spiritually and they love them strongly and spiritually. So they listen to them. In the Gambia, most of us, we studied from Libya, from Senegal. Our primary level, our high school, most of us. And when we came back, we don't have any marabu here or majlis that we are answerable to. We don't have it. So really, only imams are listened to in this country. And each and every person have his own imam.
And is it not that the imams themselves may have some affiliation or alliance with one political party or the other?
Well, I wouldn't.
If that is the problem, I mean, they cannot do much.
I wouldn't go that far, But I know, I have seen some imams, they don't hide their membership on their political allegiance. But at the same time, imams are also citizens. Yeah. So I'm somebody who kick against isolating imams from the activities of the country. It's our responsibility. When imam is sick, imam goes to the hospital. When there is no medicine, imam suffers. Absolutely. So imams should take their stand and play their role as citizens, number one. And imams should be seen as a citizen before you isolate him and put him in a corner, make him thinking that he's going somewhere when he goes nowhere. So I'm calling all imams to participate in anything that move the country forward and participate to everybody to discourage fitna in our country. That's all.
Okay. And some of those fitnas, like the problem issues of corruption, crime, drug abuse, are all rampant now. You have been known to use your sermons on Fridays to address contemporary issues, even during the Jammeh time. In fact, one of the issues that we can say one of the reasons you failed, or Jammeh picked you up, harm, was some of those things. But they are happening still now. The menace of drug abuse, the backway syndrome, the tension in politics are still common. And how frequently do you think you said it's been addressed?
Well, actually, if you know, it's very funny, Mr. Cham. I met people and said, "Hey, Baba, Leigh do dewa."
Exactly.
I talk more than any time before. But the problem is Cham cannot pray in my mosque and pray in somebody's mosque. You know, you are not present. And now I have a TV that cover my sermons.
Yes.
That is Paradise.
Yeah.
But these days they're out of air. I don't know what's wrong.
They mentioned technical problems.
I address drugs, I address corruption, I address bagway, I address even Supreme Islamic Council. I made someone even to Rawdatul Majalis. I say anything that concerns Islam concerns me, and I address it without hiding, without bias. I try my best. But no one cannot listen. You cannot be listened to by everybody. So people think Baba is not. Some my friends in America, I say, "Hey, Imam, Leigh do they want the salohong chi ice."
Leigh yang chi human rights.
Yes, but
yang ame junne temeri junne
exactly so. The fact remain, suma loho duban na gubuda si safara all the time for others. Bude ke si safara 20 years na neke chi ice.
Why bude ke chi ice tam? Baru tek sa nyebe.
Mind you, you ham ngane man suma game.
I know, I'm not.
You know that.
Yeah.
Man suma game ken munu ko
I know that.
Especially when we have a leader that doesn't even try to take you because the president had never intervened as far as human rights is concerned.
Yeah,
he had never intervened. He had never sent anybody to intervene. So we are doing our job comfortably without any intervention, which we are pleased with.
Okay. So, but both of you haven't addressed this issue about rhetorics. If you had to meet with Mr. Dabo or Mr. Barrow in your personal capacity, in the light of what happened, what would you tell him?
You see, in my personal capacity, I wouldn't say what I talk with the president.
No, but
let me tell you.
On this particular issue, for example.
In this particular, we have discussed what we discussed. You see, when you are given the privilege to meet the president, you are urged Islamically to be respectful and to be able to keep secret. Leadership is all about secret. You don't go and talk to the president and come to the president. I was to the president and I have said this.
Government is almost
for Mr. Dabo, I have been trying many times, but he's not very much accessible as far as I'm concerned.
So
I'm saying this on air.
The president is more accessible.
Yes, for me. Okay. Yes. For me, yes. I'm taking on air. I'm on record.
Yes,
you understand? So really, those whom I can meet, I can talk to at my level, at who I am.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. But let me make a disclaimer here. I am not representing National Human Rights Commission here.
No, I made that clear.
I'm not speaking on their behalf.
I made that clear.
I'm speaking as a commissioner and as an imam and as a concerned citizen.
Okay.
That's the fact. And you have seen the move that a National Human Rights Commission did.
Yeah.
But human being, you cannot satisfy them.
Absolutely.
At times, you see my chairman holding the mic for the opposition.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, you see my chairman is wrapped like a dog following the president.
That's how the job.
That means we are doing our job right.
Independently.
You see, when you have two wives, with Mr. Yaffa don't know. You
have two, is it one?
You have only
one man, one wife.
So you see, when you have two wives, each and every one of them accuse you that you love the other one better.
Absolutely, yeah.
That means you are playing the game right.
They could be right also.
No, they cannot be right. If it's a relevant thing, you love Fatu more than Binta, and Binta you love Binta more than Fatu, then you are doing it right.
I see.
A National Human Rights Commission, if at times you are accused being opposition,
Yes.
tomorrow you are accused being pro-government.
Just like us, yes.
That means we are doing the right thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because if we were pro-government, nothing stopped us
Yeah.
from going to and openly and supporting their political affairs.
Yeah.
But we are dealing more with IPC than any party.
Yeah.
Because IPC make our work easy for us.
Yeah.
When they come together as parties
Parties.
and ready to solve their problems and ready to discuss their issues. So IPC is doing very well. That's why I'm asking people to support them and help them financially so that they can be independent and do their job better. Thank you.
If you are to meet Mr. Barrow or Mr. Davo, because these are the key players in all the things that we've been people are anxious about, what would you tell them in the light of what happened or what's happened?
Well, I don't know why I should meet any one of them.
Yeah, but as a concerned citizen.
No.
If you are to have
what you are referring to, or the issue that you have mentioned, is the statement made by Babo.
Yeah, and that kind.
In Brikama, there is nothing like that kind of thing. The statement was a statement in which the president, His Excellency Barrow, he
committed an error.
He shouldn't have mentioned it. I mean, let us call a spade a spade. It was just too much. You cannot wish somebody death.
He didn't say he wished him dead. He said, okay.
Please,
he didn't say I want him to die. He said when he died.
No.
After he died.
He said he will die before him.
No, he didn't say that. He said, if I hear.
Before that, he said he will die before him.
No, I didn't actually say.
Oh, well, no. Yeah.
But you might say he meant, but what I exactly heard was.
But that's why people are condemning him.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately.
No, the issue about death.
So this
issue,
the problem is this statement.
Yeah.
So let
was
us
it
not,
said out of anger, perhaps?
I don't know. Let us not get into other things. There are disputes or misunderstandings between them and so on. That's something else. The problem is this statement.
He misspoke.
Frankly speaking.
Okay.
And to come and say I'm sorry, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and he wouldn't do that.
I don't know. Heads of state in more powerful countries like the United States, Democrat, they do it.
Apologize.
Well, anyway, this is my
take on it.
Unfortunately.
All right. There are issues affecting us as a member of the Islamic. You said Ummah or Islamic.
Ummah, it's okay.
It's okay. Islamic around us. And now that giving our position as OIC members or chairman of there have been issues surrounding Islam, and the key issue being Palestinian issue. It is still a major problem. Our own government, even though we had the privilege of talking to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, who said they don't think it's wise to break relations with Israel. But, ironically, we see statement after statement in the recent past condemning Israel's activities in in Palestine. So, where do we stand? What do you think of it? Baba, I start with you.
Well, humanly, nobody cannot support Israel with what is happening. Humanly.
But do you think we should keep relations with them and let everybody publicly disagree with their methods?
The stand of our foreign minister, I was privileged to listen to your interview here with him. Well, for me, because if you are to mediate, and Gambia is trying to mediate between Israel and Palestine, Qatar in particular, they are trying to mediate. And when you are mediating, you already break relation with one of the parties. That will not, ease your access to the mediation.
But then if you are every day condemning the other side for the other side, how would that help?
There are certain things, humanly, as I told you, humanly, you cannot be quiet. Gambia is not in the position today where they should keep quiet. The Gambian flag is very high in the world today. in Islamic countries, in human rights issues, in democratic issues, our flag has reached where it has never been.
Yes, indeed.
So being the case,
our respect.
So being the case, Gambia cannot be quiet. And what Israel is doing, any human being in his right senses will condemn it. And I see nothing wrong for Gambia as a country, as a nation, to condemn what they are doing and still continue the mediation.
But keeping relations with Israel. Many people said, after his comment, people said, oh, well, we definitely should break up.
When you break up with Israel because of Palestine, and Saudi is having that relation with Israel,
that's the irony.
And Qatar, with all their ability in keeping the relation, with Dubai, with Imam, with Egypt.
Yes.
Gambia is an African country. You see, there are certain things you cannot cry for the dead more than
the relatives.
Thank you. You cannot do that. We are related with the Arabs is only because of Islam.
Okay.
Not because of anything else.
I see.
But when it comes to religion in general, Israel are our brothers and sisters too. Remember, they follow Judaism. So Musa is from Ibrahim.
Absolutely, yes.
So really, I think it is the role of the Gambia to realize that if they break their relation today because of their citing Gaza, Saudi is sending delegation to Israel, they are friendly.
So, that confuses us, the dynamics of this thing in the Middle East. Mr. Yaffa, can you enlighten us? Why do you think, is it the division, the lack of unity among the Arab nations surrounding Israel that embolden and support of America embolden Israel to commit this kind of activities against? We know that. Well, they said Gaza provoked Israel by killing 1,000 people at a music festival, but the reply from Israel, the response is disproportionate and terribly inhumane.
Yeah.
Why do you think the Arab countries or the Islamic countries are not speaking the same voice when it comes to Palestine? Of course, even if they spoke one voice, but the actions are different. Iran, for example, want to see concrete actions, in dealing with Israel, but they don't have support among their neighbors there. Powerful nations like Saudi, like other places.
Well, thank you very much. You see, let us always refer to history to try to understand certain things that are paradoxical to us nowadays. We all know that most countries of the modern nation states, most nation states nowadays were once colonized by Western countries.
Yes, majority of us.
Very good. Asia, Africa,
everywhere. Most part of the world.
And colonization lasted for over 500 years, and it prospered to a point where even the colonized had to accept the status quo at the time. Although some of them went about it diplomatically.
Others took up to arms
to fight. Or took up arms. For me, it is the same situation that is prevailing right now.
The Palestine-Israeli
this arrogance and recalcitrance and whatever we see from the side of Israel, it's all because of the United States of America and some other Western countries. The most powerful among them, in fact, Britain, call it Germany, France, Italy, and the like. But mainly America. It's America that gives weapons and it is America that tells Israel, hey, stop here, and then it will stop. Or will just turn a blind eye to whatever it does, and then it does what it wants to do. And that America, or the United States of America, also has dominance and hegemony on all these Arab countries that you see.
So
most of them So that's why, for example, the first Arabic-speaking country, I prefer that expression than Arab country, Arabic-speaking. The first Arabic-speaking country that established diplomatic ties and relations with Israel was Egypt. But paradoxically...
Kamal Nasser or Mubarak?
No, Sadat.
Sadat?
Yes.
Paradoxically, why that led to his assassination or so?
Probably. But paradoxically, it is this same country that waged three unsuccessful wars against, I won't say the only country, but it spearheaded those 3 wars
against Israel, including the
1948,
including the 6th day,
and the 67, and the 1973. But that same, that's why I'm using the word paradox. It is that same Egypt that after this 3rd war of 1973 under Sadat, finally succumbed to the United States of America, despite its support for Israel. It succumbed to it.
Yeah.
They signed a deal, and that every year the United States will be giving them aid. Before Camp David.
Before the Camp David.
This was before Camp David.
Okay.
So you can see. So because of pressure, the reason why I refer to colonial. You see, when the other side has too much power over you.
So that's why the Islamic nations are not speak, even if they speak one voice, but they don't act in unison when they're dealing with
What can they do against the United States?
So America is the problem.
It is. If you don't say it, you are not saying the truth. It can solve this problem, and there is a glimmer of hope. Yes, in the United States itself. If you have been following
the politics,
the campus protests. I don't know whether you have been
following with the college students. Yes,
against Biden's stance.
Yes, we heard that very
well. Now the left wing of the Democratic Party.
People are getting separated to the Palestinian cause
in America. Be careful. And the politicians are bearing that in mind.
I see.
Even this lady now is paying attention to that. So don't be
when Netanyahu came to Congress, she did not go there.
Anyway,
people think
don't be surprised.
That's a reflection of her position.
Anyway, don't be surprised if you see a change in American policy towards the Middle East. I won't say Middle East, but
if the Democrats win.
Yes.
Well, but it's always been said that American governments always support Israel, whether it's Democrat or
for their own interest, eh?
You know, Mr. Cham,
for their own interest, not
America
they love
is
Israel.
a wall of its own. And in the surface, you will see different names. But under the carpet, it's just like a car. The car that runs, you will never see the engine. America is run by the Jews. That's the fact.
I was coming to that.
And the kind of support America have, most Americans don't support it. But still there is a hope, a great hope for that matter. In the sense that if you look at Europe today, anti-Israelis, because of the Gaza demonstration all over the world, is taking place in a massive way that had never happened, America included. So the ordinary people are convinced by what they are seeing, and they are supporting those who deserve to be supported, the victims, the innocent people. You understand? But America, you don't rely on them when it comes to Israel. And as Modou Lamin Yaffa said, you see, Gambia to break relation, where Saudi is starting relation, Egypt is starting relation, Qatar is starting, all the Middle East or the Arab-speaking countries are starting relation. And Gambia being an alien within these people, because the Arabs and the Jews are more related. They are more close to break relation. That doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't reduce Israel anything for what they are doing. So really, I think for me, if you ask me, I really want Gambia and our foreign ministry to maintain their stand and continue the mediation and the dialogue.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, this word mediation, I think is a bit strong. Because definitely Gambia doesn't...
We don't have the clout to mediate.
The word mediation, I don't think
but we are the chairman.
It's not the right word.
Chairmanship of the OIC.
Yeah,
we can use that to liberate her.
The OIC doesn't have any line of dialogue with Israel. That doesn't
but then Israel is condemned to
totally. But there is nothing. There is no. So why mediation? That's nothing like that. I want to add something to what he has said. You see, this support for Israel, that was not only America. America, in fact, came in later. Interestingly, for the
British,
for our viewership and those listening to when Israel was declared.
When the state of Israel was declared.
Yes.
In 1948.
48.
The first country to recognize it. This was declared by the United Nations, to partition the place.
Yes.
It was the Soviet Union. America expressed reservation. Or did not at all. In fact, it came later.
That was Stalin or Khrushchev's time?
Oh, well. You mean 48?
Yeah.
That was Stalin.
Stalin. Yeah.
I think so, yes, Stalin. Yeah. So, America stepped in later. So, America's current support for Israel, this staunch...
was born out of the ideological difference with the Soviet Union. I see.
What signal is this? We don't understand.
No, interest.
Okay.
Money?
No, it's not money.
Influence.
Imagine.
Yeah.
You see, let me... I'm sorry for saying this on air.
Yeah, what is that?
But to be frank, and I'm very sorry to say this, while my Christian brothers are listening to me.
Okay.
But there has been, there is history, and bitter history between Islam and Christendom. That is the Crusades. Al-Hurub As-Salibiyah, the Crusade. If you read the history of the Crusade,
Salah Ayubi.
Yes.
So that's
terrible things happen. And the West, the West, and call it even the Christian West, would never forgive Islam. For what? When they occupied this current day Istanbul, which used to be called Constantinople.
Yeah.
And then the largest church, I think, in those days, even in the world, was called Hagia Sophia. The Turks, when they occupied Constantinople, they transformed it into a mosque.
So that's
the West.
Yeah.
And again, let's forget about that. I don't want to dilate on that.
I know.
But you see, they are also morally
indebted
to the state of Israel for the atrocities they committed against the Jews.
I see.
During the Second World War.
Good.
With Hitler. So there are many things too. But for America to have a puppet state like Israel in the Middle East, it's like having the 56th or whatever state in that part of the world. They can do whatever they like there. And they will never trust those Muslim majority countries. Never. So anyway.
Thank you, Modou Lamin Yaffa of the Rawdatul Majalis, an Islamic scholar and linguist himself. Thank you very much for being on the brunch. And Imam Baba Leigh, the Imam of Kanifing Mosque and a member, a commissioner of the Human Rights Commission. Thank you very much for your perspective on the current affairs matters on the brunch, which will be back next week. And I promise we will get both or one of them periodically on these programs, especially when issues really that relates to their spheres of interest surface anytime. Until then, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us on your program.
Imam, thank you.
Thank you for having us on your courtroom.
Yes. Thank you.
You are not serious.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yonna Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yonna Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yonna Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yonna Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yonna Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yonna head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yonna branch located countrywide near you.
Planning to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Karaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980 8483 340 9400 or 635 9906.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Brusubi opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited, or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051 or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
I get it. Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyingi.
Okay. Nsila ID soto.
Ah, that's what. Sorry. I get it.
Bijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariaka.
Ah,
mbare ki janna nun kunu bara tariaka.
Ah, janno mi yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Ha. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato ni fo bolong blabe to.
56 branches mola soto Gambia jam.
Ha?
Ha. Gambia kono anin Gambia bantala bankol. Nko kono kiya bere to. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw. Jannom number 1 di nyonta andum fana nata another enterprise sotale wala nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale le dadi man domorol ni fana be teat Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je
wo moyo diat
apelenta
ni wo ka ni na lafta nyelen kendol e bina
yalo bu kanyi la ko la baraka ba
yalo ndel chosano lo
abaraka